Good afternoon. Sorry, been eating crisps. For me, grey, cloudy, windy, cold, grim, miserable Peterborough. But let's have a look at this.
Makeup, right?
Your makeup's absolutely fine. So, can I have your name, your age, your home and your profession?
I'm Mike Hughes of Queni Koi. I'm 31 years old. I live down the road in the village called Queniborough, which is where Queni Koi first started, hence the name Queni Koi. And yeah, anything else?
Your profession?
Profession, Queni Koi.
Yes,
yeah,
there you
Queni
go.
Koi.
So Mike, how many koi keeping years have you had?
What year are we now? 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
You started young then?
Yes, yeah, that was koi, but then before that was, you know, your dad's pond in the back garden, which was goldfish and the like. But yeah, 15 years of from purchasing my first koi, the Shisui,
Yep.
which I still remember.
Wow.
Three Shisui for 20 quid. So, yeah, I still remember that day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
So what is your current pond size and quantity of fish? This could be a bit difficult being a businessman.
Yeah, so at Queni Koi we have, in the main retail area, we have got 16 ponds. 8 of them are 1,000 gallons each, 4 of them are 1,500 gallon each, and then we've got the bigger ponds, so we've got 13,000 gallons, 8,000 gallons, 8,000 gallons, a 3,500 gallon pond. Next door in our quarantine setup we've got 10 ponds, and they range from 1,000 gallons again up to 2 ponds of 3,000 gallons. So quite a bit of water.
Quite a bit of water there.
Yeah, don't like the water bill.
So one of the questions I ask, it's more singularly, but is this your forever pond? Will there be more ponds added in the future?
A big, well, space currently as it stands, no. But I mean, there's a 3-acre field next door, so the ultimate dream would be to have more kind of natural, I say natural, but more mud pond-esque ponds under polytunnels.
For breeding on?
Not breeding, but certainly growing on fish.
Right, okay.
I mean, we do very well here in the shop, but having those kind of ponds, especially under a tunnel where it can stay nice and warm, you know, we can buy plenty more fish and leave them alone for the year. So they're not for sale until they then come out and have a bit of a harvest.
Okay.
Bring a bit of Japan over here.
So your next question, so let's say for instance that this business disappeared and you weren't into fish, do you have an alternative hobby?
Alternative hobby? Not really. While looking after my dog and kid and second kid on the way.
No, oh my god, dogs and family then.
Dogs and kids, yeah, never work with them.
And since you started keeping koi, what has been your biggest triumph?
Biggest triumph? Certainly just generally sourcing, you know, beautiful koi for my customer base, especially those that, you know, may take them or rear them on themselves or take them to shows, and they get awards and things. It's great. It's great going to a show and walking around and recognizing fish that you've supplied to these people.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Especially when they do really well. You know, customers literally would come up to me and give me a hug kind of thing. So that's because obviously us being a dealer, we can't show the fish ourselves, but at least our customers can, and yeah, that's quite a nice feeling. Good.
So if you could give one piece of advice for new koi keepers, I know there's many different bits of advice, but something that's personal to yourself.
I mean, for me, because a lot of people are into the filtration side of it, the pond construction side of it, whereas although I understand all of that, obviously, my real passion for the koi hobby as such is the koi themselves. So appreciation of the koi. So in terms of advice, from my personal standpoint is research, and
Brilliant.
spend as much time in places like here and dealers around the country, and if you can get to Japan, and even better, because it really gives you an understanding and appreciation of what goes into the production of koi.
Yep.
Especially the nicer ones, the show ones, and the more expensive ones, because that could be that breeder's best fish he's had for his generation.
Yes,
and
of course.
it's everything that goes with that as well. So yeah,
Okay.
koi appreciation.
So we've discussed biggest triumph. What has been your biggest mistake?
Biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. Oh, I don't know. With hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Oh,
So,
always.
with that in mind, you can always say, oh, maybe I wish I hadn't have bought that particular fish because maybe it was too expensive, and because it died in Japan or something like that. But at the time, you only realise that with hindsight, obviously.
Yeah.
And those things can go either way. My biggest mistake, I suppose, when I was first starting out, my biggest mistake when you set up your pond, which 99% of people do, is have a pump fed pond.
Yeah.
I think in time you realise the benefits of gravity fed. So yeah.
Okay, good. Future plans.
Future plans. Here we are in the process of trying to get more space. Not so much for the fish, but more for our dry goods. Because we carry a lot of stock here at Queni Koi. We're one of those companies that if we sell something online, we like to have it physically. We don't like to tell yourself I've got, I don't know, a particular filter part, when in fact I don't have it, and I'm just going to get my supplier to sort it out for you. We'd rather have it here and we can sell it here. And not only that, but know the products. So we're not, we're not just a middleman. We understand all of our products. We don't just sell anything and everything. Everything we know. So in terms of increasing stock, we need more space.
Of course.
Yeah.
Question 9. Do you get support from your partner or your wife?
I do, yes. Thankfully, she's very understanding. I mean, at camp, especially this time of year when we're buying fish, you're in the shop day to day, but when you get home, that's the real time that I can sit down in front of my laptop and do the social media things, get fish on the website and everything else like that. So a lot of home life can be taken up with, even just emailing people as well. So yes, she does support me, but I'm sure she'd prefer it if I have a bit more time for her as well.
Maybe in the future.
I hope she doesn't watch this.
And your final question, an easy one.
Yeah.
What is your favourite fish?
My favourite fish? That changes all the time, as you can imagine, but I think there's been loads of memorable fish that we've supplied customers or brought into the UK. One that has a great backstory and one that will always kind of stay with me was a Sankey that was purchased by Chris, a business partner, Queni Koi. It was purchased by him before I joined Queni Koi, and as myself and Chris got to know each other, became friends, he gave me this koi, and it was a Sankey that looked like a kahaku at the time, but I loved it. Didn't know what was going to happen with it, where the sumi was going to come up and all the rest of it. Really just took a punt, took it home, and grew it a fair bit, and the sumi just came out of nowhere, literally. And I then joined Queni Koi, but I still had this fish back at home, which was amazing, like really, really nice, but I couldn't now show it because I was part of Queni Koi. So a good friend, a good customer of mine, bought it from me, kept it in his pond for a year, 2 years, and then he ended up taking it to the national in 2018, it would have been, I think, or 2019, and he won mature champion with that fish, which was great. And because of this backstory and because of what happened, it's one of those that I'd always kind of remember it. and I'm sure a lot of my customers now would remember it as well. Yeah, it's a Sankey from Oishi Koi Farm. So yeah, a memorable koi.
Excellent. So one little ad for those people who've probably never heard of Queni, which would be a surprise. Why do people, or why should people come to Queni and spend their hard-earned cash?
Oh, I mean, we all love what we do, and we've got a great team of people. We've got Marcus, who's our online guru. So he's on the end of the phone not any time of day, but most of the time. We've got Adam and Jeff now in the shop, working very hard, photographing fish, videoing koi, getting the website sorted, and we're like a little family here. And then myself and Chris that just kind of pretty much oversee everything.
Good.
Good. And yeah, it's just yeah, we love what we do, and we don't just buy koi to keep them in a pond to sell them out of that pond. A lot of fish that we bring in here we like to grow on and progress, hence the larger ponds here. So especially 1 and 2 year olds, we import them and we like to rear them on, so we can show people that it's not just about keeping a koi, it's about growing and developing them and progressing them as well, which is what we get out of it at the end, especially towards this end of the year when we're re-photographing and re-measuring. You know, you can look at one fish that's grown maybe 20 cm and you can see how it's changed, how it's developed. And because we get through so many koi, especially like the new guys that just started, they learn so much in such a short space of time. You know, compared to a hobbyist where you might have a handful of koi that you can do that, we've literally got thousands of them. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Mike Hughes of Queni Koi. That's your 10 in 10.
Okay. Oh, I lost it.
What?
Wiggled.
Sorry about the noise, but the United States Air Force are buzzing us. Oh no. What have I done? What have I done now? They're in there. I have waited over a year. Over a year! So, as you know, I've just been to Queni and these two were tugging at my bank card. Like I said, I've been after one of these for months, well over a year. Had to be the right size, right shade. And this one, it just had "buy me" written all over it. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to give them a measure, see what size we got, and then we'll let you know. Cat happy?
I'm happy.
Marvellous. So we got a bit of colour in the pond. I am just blown away with that Goromo. Absolutely love it. It's been a long time coming. So that's it for this video. Big thank you to Mike Hughes and the staff at Queni Koi. Mike Hughes initially was a little bit nervous, but clearly once he got going he was absolutely fine, so thanks again for that, Mike. I was going to announce the winner of the 2,500 subscriber prize tomorrow, but I'll do it now. Embarrassingly enough, I've got 62 fittings, which is just ridiculous. I shouldn't have that many, but the eventual winner is Amanda Blackshields. So Amanda Blackshields, or Mrs. Amanda Blackshields, or Mr. Amanda Blackshields, get in touch with me using my email address sa_wainwright@hotmail.com. give me your address and I'll send your prize to you. So thank you very much to everybody that took part. I'll leave it just as I normally do: 2 jabs, 1 booster, look after your family, and goodbye.